I'm learning how to speak up, right? And going through the life in America, what I was bold enough, I just lost my voice. Probably this program will help me get back, um, speak up, express my views. Other parents may learn from me how to cope up with life from learning from other people's experience, and that's what it is all about, how to learn from other people's experience, and get some tips. Probably if I can I have seen so many women giving up in life, just because they feel so afraid being alone there. And listening to my story, maybe they can get some encouragement.
Hey there, everybody. This is Dr. Charles Cole. I am the founder and executive director of Energy Converters, and I've loved doing this series with our new national cohort and our fellows. This next interview is special for me for a few different reasons. One, this lady is just one of the sweetest and nicest people that I've ever met. She's so supportive. But two, this is something different. Most of our fellows are youth. They're either in high school, just graduated, or in college or graduating. But this was a parent. This was a parent who she had interest in the program for her son, but he was a little young. He was a little young for it, but she was so on top of it. And she just struck a chord with everybody that we asked and said, hey, why don't we pilot something new and try out this parental piece? As you all know, I have said over and over that I wanted to not just be constricted to young people. I think agency work has to be community work. So she was the first, and she's been great. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Miss Farida Savai. And by the way, she has instructed me not to call her Miss or Mrs. Farida. She said it's just Farida. Okay, so I have manners. Hello, Farida. How are you today?
Hi, Dr. Charles. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. So good to see you. And so you are not in America today, from my understanding. Where are you right now?
At present, I'm in Mumbai with my my father. I lost my mom a few couple of years back, and I'm taking care of my father here.
Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss. And for the people that's watching, your son is still goes to American schools in the town that I grew up in Oakland, California, right?
Hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
I love Auckland. Yeah, he was born in San Diego,
Okay.
uh, but then I moved to Bay Area for my further studies,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how we end up blending in Oakland. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to just start off because you're one of my favorite people. I just think you're just super sweet and super smart, and you're always on top of the emails. I will say, you answer the emails first. You're much better at answering emails than my generation and down. But let's talk about your energy converter story. So, what attracted you to the program, and how have you been liking it so far?
Um, I really like the way you are persuasive to all your participants, like your candidates or your trainees, whatever I want to say. Like I know there is a lot of advocacy here. You encourage people to speak up, um, brainstorm their thoughts. They are new generations, and they are going through a lot of changes. So, and I'm from a generation where I don't know anything about social media.
Hmm.
I don't know about. I'm learning how to speak up, you
Right.
know, and that's what brought me to Energy Converter, where I heard that they teach um, podcasting, or how to. What else is there?
There's blogging,
Video. Yeah.
video, what we're doing right now. So this is your first interview live, where you get to like speak out to people. So,
Yes.
how you like it so far? You can be honest.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot. Every session is teaching us new thing, how to peer review other people's speech, how we can correct them, how we can improve our own um, thoughts process, writing ups. It's very interactive sessions. Every time we talk, we learn a lot.
Thank you.
We learn about what others are doing, how they are going into advocating, like, outside in different states to the politicians, raising voice,
Hmm.
making awareness, writing, fighting for their rights. Um, like, you have to put yourself out there to advocate yourself. That's what I like about this program.
And how have you been surprised with how much the young people adore you and enjoy you and encourage you? I mean, it's been, they really like you, and you will tell these stories or you'd ask these questions and they would just be in awe because of, like, your courage, your sacrifice, the things that you've given them perspective of the sacrifices that parents make for their children. So how has it been, sharing your stories with them and also hearing their stories from your, like, child's age perspective?
Um, my story is way different as a parent,
Hmm.
and they are younger kids. They have a lot of support. They have parents, but some kids don't have.
Hmm.
And I never, well, until I moved to America, I never realized that pain. Some
Hmm.
kids don't have parental support and society support. Um, when I myself became only and lonely after relocating to United States, giving birth to a child and being myself, raising child alone,
Hmm.
it's such a pain, like so much of disconnect that country has. Like, even if you have a lot of support, they try to break up that support. Sometimes I
Hmm.
feel like that, you
Okay.
know.
Well, why don't you, let's go into that. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about your experience as an immigrant parent, right? Like, what has it meant? Um, for instance, like, you've chosen for your child to be in school in America versus in India. Is there a reason for that? Like, do you have a preference? Tell me a little
So
bit about.
I, the only thing I was always focusing on, I didn't want his schooling to be suffered, because of my family life, or my parents' need, or whatever my need or responsibilities were there. Because of my responsibilities or work, my family, my parents' care, parental, I have to take care of parents, my work. I didn't want his schooling to suffer.
Hmm.
So whatever I felt best for him, I did that. So when he was until 4, he was in pre-kindergarten and kindergarten over there. Then he moved to India, Mumbai. He went to private school here until from first grade to fifth grade,
Okay.
and he got a really good schooling because in India we go to private school mostly, and there the basic thing over here is they have multiple languages, history, music, sports, dance, a lot of activities, in a school, and teacher really pay attention. They have a like class teacher.
Hmm.
So in a class, they have a specific teacher assigned, and she's the first period of the. She takes the first period. They don't change the classes. Teachers come in for different subjects. They come in and out. Teachers goes in and out, but student stays in the same class. So um, they go to school together from the same area. um, so they make friends. They've next door neighbor is going from the same place to same school, so they walk to school together. They do homework when they come back home. They play together. So parents don't have that much, they are not tied down every time, every second to a child. They have some
Hmm.
liberty to do their things. And also there are grandparents, there are different people around to take care of them sometimes. And they also go to like after school programs, music, karate, things like that, skates, chess. So he learned everything. Cricket, cricket,
Yes, I
baseball,
know
like just
cricket.
like baseball.
Yeah,
So yeah, he
it's a
learned
growing
cricket.
sport. It's a huge sport internationally, but it's starting to grow here in America as well. So.
Yes. And then they even we have like many other games which kids come after from school and they play together. Like after coming from school, they finish their homework, this and that. In India, they get a lot of things to memorize, and that stimulates, that develops neuro connection. Um, so I feel like even today, constant we say that be a lifelong learner, and if you're learning, it develops your neural connection and prevents you from Alzheimer's.
Hmm.
You know, um, so I like this. Though they say, oh, it's about bookworming, but when like suppose they have English subject, then there is a poetry in English, right? For first grader, they have to memorize that and speak in front of the class next day or maybe after 2 days. So they learn about presentation skills, elocutions. Then they have
So
sports
they were doing that in
class.
first grade in India.
Yeah, they would start from KG,
Mhm.
kindergarten. They do all that presentation skills like, and in sports, they if they don't if they have regular classes, but in their regular classes they have yoga, like once or twice in a week they have PE,
Mhm.
right? So they start with drills like stretching. The whole class will stand in arrangements one after the other, like four in front and 10 in behind, like that, you
Mhm.
know. So for like around 25, 30 students in one class, so they will line up, but they will start with drills, yoga, some stretches, then they do running, jogging. And if they have sports day coming up, some students participate in sports, so they are put in a different batch and they prepare for sports. So things like that, you know. A
Yeah.
lot of activities. They have olympiads, international inter-school competitions, badminton, swimming, things like that. So they're always active in different things. There's kids drama presentation
So
for different
can
occasions.
I ask you a question, Miss Farida? So, here in Energy Converters, you've learned about the systemic barriers that may be occurring in American education, or the role poverty plays, and the quality of schools, and these young people are learning how to make sure they're getting the most and getting high quality. I know India has to deal with its own caste system. So what's the difference between like some of the things you learn about American education and like maybe dealing with the caste, or anything in like Mumbai or India? I don't, a lot of people that's watching this will be their first time learning anything about Indian education. So can you educate us on that a little bit?
So caste system is in lower schools. It's different. Like private schools, there is no caste system.
Right.
But when they go to college admissions, then it becomes caste, like reservations for this kind of categories.
Mm-hmm.
um, like there are different lower categories or middle class categories. There are reservations in colleges, like mostly in engineering and medical, but not in other ones. So people are fighting and advocating to remove all that based on pure merits, but now so many medical schools and engineering colleges have opened up that that problem is almost no more.
Right.
And a lot of other jobs have opened up, so there is hardly any that kind of thing coming up anymore. But still, sometimes everywhere there is partiality in the world. In US also, um, when we sit in the class, we face a lot of biases sometimes, in grading and this like that. So everywhere there is a partiality, but caste system in India was a lot before because there were hardly any schools, only one school once in the whole in the whole country or something. That's why there was a lot of competition, but now no more.
Got you. Got you. So I have, do we have time for two more questions? I know your time is limited. I have two questions for you. Is that okay? Or do you only got
Yeah,
time
go
for, okay.
ahead.
Okay. I think so one, there are the two questions I want to ask. Let me start with the first one. You are, back in India right now for the time being, and your son is over here in America. I want to be able to lean into your humanity a little bit. I'm sure that may not be easy for you. What is the experience like of you being now in India and your child is still over here in the United States doing school? How is that for you? How do you feel? Like, what is that experience like? Because how old is your boy?
He is 16
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and he's in high school right now, finishing
Mm-hmm.
his 12th grade. So um, He came back to United States. I told he was doing his schooling here in India.
Mm-hmm.
And so just before COVID hit, he came back to United States, was with me, and I was in 2020, right? Um, and he went to school there for middle, and now he's in high school. Um, and then in Oakland, he was in charter school
Mm-hmm.
for his middle school. And as soon as he was finishing his middle school last year, I lost my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And my father is alone. So I had to figure out how to take care of young child and old father.
Mm-hmm.
And my father is very dependent. He cannot do anything without mom.
Mm.
Um, so now,
Do you think it's a cultural thing? Like, is this like it's like a cultural thing? Or I know a lot of people in your generation are now taking care
yeah,
of their parents, both in America and across the world. So, you know, so sorry
yeah.
about your mother passing, but thank you for sharing this experience. And I want to let you finish. I just wanted to highlight
So
that.
at the same time, I was finishing my last year of my school also, my schooling, and I was giving my board exam for chiropractic, and I had two boards exam lined up, and same day I lost my mom.
Mm.
So I had a hard time focusing, but I said I have to do it anyhow. I was becoming chiropractor for her because of her leg pains and body aches and all that thing. And then COVID was going on during that time, and traveling was such an issue. I didn't know how to travel, like what test is needed, what to do. And same year, I was going to go in December, but I lost her in October. So just by 2 months. But then now I was either I had to take my son and come back to India, or, and then I had my clinics left, my clerkship, my
Okay.
internship. So I could not think of coming back to India immediately until I finish my clinic, to get my
Mhm.
credit and get the license. So I had to be there in the United States for some time. And
Mhm.
because of COVID, it was hard to find patients to get into the clinic, and things were extending nonstop. But then, anyhow, I finished my clinic, my hours, and I got my license. I started working there for some time until my father was getting help with my office staff, people like, from office. He had his own business, tax management, so they were taking care of him, and things were going okay. But now he was winding up his office, so he was relaxing at home. But then I started feeling like he has getting Alzheimer's because he's now no more working. He stopped and he's forgetting everything. So I got enough work experience, and when I lost my mother, I was starting to think, how can I take care of Abdeli? So I found a program where he can stay, he go to high school, and also finish another thing which the program offers. And so I enrolled him in that program, which is in LA. I came to India taking care of my father. He's finishing his high school and that program, and he will graduate from high school this year, May, June. And in that program, he may stay for another year, which is his last year over there in the program. But I don't know if he wants to continue there. Otherwise, he'll come back to India. I want him to finish a couple of other educations here. If not, I don't know if things I have to come back to
Do you
United
want him to
States.
do
But
university in America or India?
it's not in our hand. Things just we just make timely decisions how things go.
Okay. All right. And then finally, I'll just ask you this and let you go. Again, we normally focus on youth or college age young people, but again, I think I had two goals. I wanted to make Energy Converters national, which I think we're doing now, and I would love to have it international and not just be just students or just young people. I want to build agency amongst, you know, a wider swath of with parents and grandparents and community leaders. So tell me how has the program been for you as a parent? Like help make the pitch to people listening about why they should be in a program like Energy Converters, even as a parent.
So it gives it the program.
Mhm.
I'm learning how to speak up, right? And going through the life in America, what I was bold enough, I just lost my voice. Probably this program will help me get back, um, speak up, express my views. Other parents may learn from me how to cope up with life, from learning from other people's experience, and that's what it is all about, how to learn from other people's experience, and get some tips. Probably if I can I have seen so many women giving up in life, just because they feel so afraid being alone there. And listening to my story, maybe they can get some encouragement.
Well, I think you have a great story. You are so great in those sessions. If you find a group of friends that will benefit from this, even before I get the funding, I will personally commit to doing, personal sessions with that group, because I think your voice and your confidence has grown since day one. You've
Thank
been
you.
more than accepted. These young people
Thank
really,
you.
really enjoy you, and you have a spirit. You remind me of my grandmother. My grandmother raised me until she passed away, and you all
Mhm.
share this very uh this beautiful sweetness and these sacrifices. I it does not it we're I'm not gonna let the people forget that you're in India, your son is here, and I can only imagine how difficult that might be for both of you. But
Oh yeah.
sacrifices need to be made, and sometimes you got to make them. So, I'll let you have the final word, and I'll take us out.
So I really appreciate for putting out this program for people like us,
Mm-hmm,
so we get um, heard feeling, HERD,
mm-hmm,
to 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 speak up and to express our views. Um, and having this session encourages us. Uh, it puts extra energy in our life, kind of,
mm-hmm,
you know. Oh yeah, it's motivating. It's very encouraging to communicate with, like, it's Ubuntu
mm-hmm.
kind
Ubuntu,
of
yeah.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
get together.
I like that. I like that. That's a Kwanzaa term here, but it's a larger term internationally. So yeah, I appreciate that, Miss Farida. You are so special to me. We are so grateful to have you. Thank you for being part of the first national cohort. I know we're working out some kinks and we're working out the bumps, but this group is always going to be special to me, and that includes you. So everybody, that was Miss Farida Savai, and you'll be hearing from more of the young people. You'll be hearing from her, and if you are encouraged and want to be a part of something like this, reach out to us. Don't worry if
Yes.
you feel like you qualify or any. We want to. This information is for people that want to be better advocates in education, that want to have a bigger voice, that want to build more confidence in themselves. And Miss Farida, you are a wonderful, wonderful example of that. Uh,
Thank you.
for
Thank you
Miss,
for being
yeah,
adding
no
me to the
problem.
program.
No problem. No problem. For Miss Farida, I'm Charles, and we will see you all next time.